Okay, we are going to see the second paragraph. These hymns were composed by the sages. The sages means rishis, those who are went away from family and sitting and meditating about God, those who are praying to God for many days, like that people, we are calling it sages or rishis. They composed the hymns. The priest taught students to recite and memorize each syllable, means each word or sentences what is given in the poem bit by bit with great care. Means that priest of the we can see the, later there the priest is known as the priest group, it is known as Brahmins. They are what they are doing, the teachers or the priest or the teachers of the teachers, what they are doing, they are teaching the student for what, to recite the recite how to say that one and memorize each syllable. Each syllable means the part of the word, how to memorize that one, and word and sentence even bit by bit, and with means each and every part of the hymns very carefully they taught to the students. And most of the hymns were composed, taught and learned by men. In starting it may not be written, it may not be in the written form. Instead of that, orally it is given to the next generation with the help of teachers. One by one teacher may rishis may said or sages may said that studied by the priest, and they may given to the next generation to the or the students. Then a few were composed by women. That time ladies also was educated. Say in sages also there was ladies, and that ladies also composed some of the lines or hymns. And Rigveda is in the old and the Vedic Sanskrit, which is different from Sanskrit you learn in the school in these days. What the Sanskrit nowadays we are having, that is the new Sanskrit, and it is Rigveda, it is written in old Sanskrit, and that is we can call it Vedic Sanskrit. We can call it Vedic Sanskrit, and which is entirely different from what Sanskrit nowadays we are studying. And the same time we can you are studying Tirukural from 5th, 4th or 6th standard also you will study Tirukural. You can see that is written in Tamil, but that Tamil is entirely different from what Tamil nowadays we are speaking or what we are studying. Like that the Rigveda also written in old Sanskrit or Vedic Sanskrit. So what we discuss in this paragraph, who composed the hymns, that is by rishis or sages. And priests, they taught that one in to the students. How they taught? To recite as well as memorizing how each syllable, word, sentences bit by bit with great care. So we also want to learn something new, that is with great care, then only we can memorize it, we can pronounce it properly. Then this hymns were composed and taught and learned by men. Usually the hymns, it is written by gents members, even taught by gents members, even learned by gents members. At the same time we can see some of the hymns composed by ladies also. Then the language, it is in which language they are written. The Rigveda, it is written in Sanskrit, that is in old, and or in otherwise we can say it Vedic Sanskrit. That is entirely different from the Sanskrit what we are learning in nowadays in the school. But in our school there is no Sanskrit, but you are saying the slogas. That's why if you are learning the Sanskrit also, the slogas Sanskrit we may not able to understand. That is the condition, because the old one and new one, it is entirely different. So we are moving to next page, that is page number 2, Sanskrit and other languages. Sanskrit is a part of the family of language known as Indo-German. It is Indo-European language. The Sanskrit, it is not fully European language. It is came from European and developed here in India. And some Indian languages such as Assamese, Gujarati, Hindi, Kashmiri and Sindhi, Asian languages such as Persian, and many European languages such as English, French, German, Greek, Italian, Spanish belonging to this family. Means these all languages, it is derived from the Indo-European family. In that, how many languages are there? In that we can see Indian languages, Asian languages, even European language. All this language developed from the that origin. It is the same, that is Indo-European language, and they were called family. They are called a family because originally had words in common, the same common names we can see, or more or less same thing we can see. Okay, we will take one example, that is the word mat means mother, and that we are calling it in ma in Hindi and mother in English. That is having the what we can say connection or more similarity between that one. So we can understand that this languages means all these languages developed from the same language, that is the Indo-European language. Then other languages used to in the subcontinent belonging to the different families. So the what we are speaking here in what we can say this Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, these languages, it is entirely different from this Indo-European language. The other languages what we are having seen the subcontinent, that is in from which family, that we can say like that. That is the Tibeto-Burman family. It is belonging to Tibetan Burman family, and that we can see Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam. These this language what we are speaking in the northeastern side, the Manipuri, like that languages, Assamese, like that languages. Sorry, Assamese not the Manipuri. Manipuri and the Mangalorean people speaking like that. Manipur people, Nagaland people, that language that is coming from the we can see that language, it is Indo-Burman family. The next one we can see the Dravidian family languages are there. That one we are speaking here in South India, that is Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, these languages from Dravidian family. And the languages spoken in Jharkhand and the part of central India, that is Austro-Asiatic language, means the connection between the two continents, Australia and Asia, like that one language, that language also we can see here in India. So we can see four major families of languages here in India. One is Indo-European, next one Indo-European language, then Tibetan Burman language, Dravidian language, then Austro-Asiatic language. Like that four language family we can see here in India. Means all these four continent people was present here in India for in different times. It may be in BCEs or ADs, that we don't know, but we can understand like that many people's presence was here in India. So what we discuss in this one, in the families of languages which is developed with the help of India and Europe, that is we can see Assamese, Gujarati, Hindi, Kashmiri, like that languages, even the Asian language like Persian and European languages like English, French, German, Greek, Italian, these languages, everything developed from the same language, basic language, that is Indo-European. Then we can see the northeastern side, the people, those who are living in Nagaland, Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, their language, it is known as the Tibeto-Burman family. Then the language what we are speaking here in South India, it is known as Dravidian family. Then the language of Jharkhand and Central India people, they are speaking, we are saying like that, that is the tribal language, like that is the Austro-Asiatic family. Means four different family of languages we can see here in India. Then we are moving next part. The books were written and printed. Means in the starting the books manuscript, then slowly it is written, and the Rigveda was recited and heard rather than read. In the olden days the books was not written, already we said it was orally they was saying, and others was hearing and learning, and so it is recited and heard by people than reading, and it was written down several centuries after it was first composed. It is composed 3500 years ago, and writing it is standing after many centuries. It may after 2000 years before, or after that only it is made it to be in written form. Then printing came just before 200 years ago. Means printing technology developed before 200 years only. That time only it printed. We are getting print now, that is made in 200 years before onwards. Now we are getting the new print with a new Sanskrit. In new Sanskrit also they have made translation, and that also available in the market. So the way of Rig Veda that we can see, and now next part we are going to study how historians study Rig Veda, what they will get from Rig Veda, and you may get questions like this here in this part. What are the major language families here in India? Otherwise it may we will get it match the pair, will give French and some other language name, and you want to match with which language family, like that also we may get question. And how it was studying, or why we are saying like that the Rig Veda, it is recited and heard rather than reading. Why? The question is like that, this sentence, Rig Veda was recited and heard rather than read, and question is why. Means the printing and writing method, it came much later, after many centuries, and printing came just after 200 years ago. That's why the printed thing or the written thing, it is came later. So in starting people was reciting and hearing it. That's why it is saying like Rig Veda is recited and heard rather than read. So we'll stop it and we'll continue in next video.